Every 4 years, the nation holds its breath. The presidential election consumes our attention. It is a grand spectacle played out on television and social media. We see the rallies, the debates, confetti on election night. But this pageant is only the surface. To truly understand democracy, we must peer into the machinery, the polished chrome on a vast, intricate engine. This machinery wasn't built in a day. Assembled over 2.5 centuries through debate, conflict, compromise. It starts in small towns, big cities, community centers, and school gymnasiums. It involves voter registration drives, party meetings, local caucuses. These small acts set the great machine in motion. So let's pull back the curtain. The founders of the United States were deeply suspicious of political parties. They called them factions. The ink on the Constitution was barely dry when factions emerged. Federalists led by Alexander Hamilton, Democratic Republicans led by Jefferson and Madison, two different visions for the nation. Over decades, parties rose, fell, and transformed. Whigs challenged Jackson. Later, the Republican Party formed in the 1850s over slavery. Since the Civil War, Democrats and Republicans have dominated, but coalitions shifted. Parties have evolved. Their platforms and coalitions have changed dramatically. Today, parties recruit candidates, fund campaigns, and mobilize voters. They deliver volunteers, money, and a shorthand for voters. They bring order and help build governing coalitions. Yet they also foster the divisions the founders feared. Parties are the ghosts in the machine, not in the Constitution, but essential. They are unseen but powerful in shaping choices. Next, how parties pick who represents them. Primaries and caucuses. Not every state uses a primary to select its party nominees. A handful of states use a different method. Most famously, Iowa. A caucus is a public, communal affair. Unlike a primary, you literally stand up for your candidate. Supporters give short speeches to persuade neighbors. Groups disband, realign, or combine. Politics live and visible. But caucuses can exclude shift workers, parents, and the elderly. Primaries emphasize the private right of the secret ballot. They offer broader access and convenience to many voters. Two different ideas of democratic participation. These choices shape who gets on the ballot and who builds momentum. A win in an early primary or caucus can propel a campaign. When Americans cast ballots for president, they are voting for a slate of electors. This indirect system is known as the Electoral College. Each state gets electors equal to its House reps plus 2 senators, 538 total. A majority of 270 is required to win. It was a compromise at the Constitutional Convention, a buffer against direct democracy and a balance for small states. Supporters say it forces broad coalitions. Critics say it can violate one person, one vote. Winner-take-all rules steer campaigns to a handful of swing states. Safe states are often ignored. It can let a candidate win without the national popular vote. When the popular vote winner loses, it sparks debate. Most recently, around the 2016 results. Debates about fairness and legitimacy follow. While the presidency is decided by this arithmetic, another map fight happens every decade: redistricting. Every 10 years, the census reapportions the 435 House seats among states. States that grow gain seats, those that shrink may lose them. Once reapportioned, states redraw congressional district boundaries. How those lines are drawn can decide elections for a decade. The term gerrymander comes from an oddly shaped 1812 district signed by Governor Elbridge Gerry. Packing, concentrate opposing voters into few districts. Cracking, split them across many districts. Lines can snake across states, joining distant communities for political advantage. A party can win fewer votes but secure a majority of seats. Some states have adopted independent commissions to draw fairer maps. Courts have fought racial gerrymandering but often avoid strict limits on partisan maps. Gerrymanders can reduce competition and make officials less responsive. That has sparked grassroots reform movements and public hearings. Geography is destiny. The shape of a district can shape government. The right to vote is the cornerstone of a democracy, yet it was denied to most for much of American history. Initially, many states limited the franchise to property-owning white men. After the Civil War, the 15th Amendment forbade racial denial of the vote, at least in theory. But poll taxes, literacy tests, and violence blocked access for decades. Women won full suffrage with the 19th Amendment in 1920. In 1964, the 24th Amendment banned poll taxes in federal elections. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 transformed access by outlawing literacy tests and enabling federal oversight. Federal monitors enforced access in states with histories of discrimination. But the struggle continued. New debates emerged over IDs, purges, early voting and mail ballots. Voter ID laws and voter roll purges are framed as security. Critics call them suppression. These measures often disproportionately impact minority voters, the elderly, students, and low-income citizens. Academic studies show in-person voter fraud is exceedingly rare. A 2013 Supreme Court decision, Shelby County v. Holder, struck down a key VRA pre-clearance provision. That removal allowed some states to pass new voting restrictions quickly. Should we design systems to maximize security or to maximize participation? The answer will shape who is heard in our democracy. From the 15th to the 26th Amendment, the franchise expanded through struggle. Each step was hard-won. Each matters today. Understanding this history clarifies how power is allocated and contested. Political parties and election systems are the machinery of democracy. They decide who gets power and how much your voice counts. A small group of engaged voters can decide a local primary. Citizen engagement at redistricting meetings can change maps. Knowledge is the first step to influence. Volunteer, canvass, show up to hearings. These are levers of change. Serving as a poll worker or caregiver at the polls helps neighbors vote. Elections start the race. Governing is a daily marathon. Public servants turn campaign promises into programs that affect daily life. The system can be changed by human hands, yours included. Understanding the machinery gives you more power within it. Elections are processes. Parties are engines of influence. Next week, we go inside the bureaucracy, the agencies that keep government running every day. Understanding the system is a path to power. Join us next week.